Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you on this beautiful sunny morning. It's lovely out there, and I think the temperature's going to get up a little bit today. So thank you for joining us today. I know we have a couple newcomers in the house. Welcome. We gave you a little information about the church. Glad to have you with us today. We have Robin Cummings and Michael Contras doing our music today. I always like to start with a couple quick announcements, just so you know what's going on or coming up at the church. First of all, it's Thanksgiving this week. Did it creep up on any of you the way it did on me? Wow! Let's just say Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I can't believe that, this Thursday. So enjoy that. As a result of that, there won't be a yoga class this Thursday. Tamara probably let everyone know that. Who typically goes to that yoga class. We typically have one at 1 o'clock in the back room, but not this Thursday. Wanted to mention a concert. Jill and I are chiming in on this a little bit. We've been doing that the last several years. Bill Cohen has a lovely Songs of Gratitude concert. He does the day after Thanksgiving every year. So it's on Friday, November 24th. It's at Maple Grove Methodist Church this year, which is like the corner of Henderson and High. It's at 7 o'clock this Friday. And it's just lots of songs about things we can be grateful for, no matter what's going on. We have so many reasons to be grateful. It's 7 to 8:30, and it's a free concert, but they take a donation for a medical mission trip that Bill's wife, Randy, goes on every year to an area in the Haiti-Dominican Republic border, where the people are very poor and don't have any medical care at all. So it's a worthy cause that they kind of pass the hat for. So at Songs of Gratitude concert, Joe and I add some backup harmonies, and we add some guitar, and Ann Fisher plays flute. You guys know Ann. So it's a lovely concert. I think that's about it for announcements. So just many thanks to everyone listening in online. Many thanks to all of you for your ongoing support of the church. We are grateful. So we begin to think about prayer and who and what we're lifting up in prayer. Remember, you can always send a prayer request in anytime. The quickest way is to go to unitydelawareohio.org, our website, and you just use that prayer request tab, and it comes right in, and we can put a prayer in action for you. So begin to think about what you're lifting up in prayer, for yourself, for your loved ones, for your community, for the world. We're very inclusive in our prayers, holding the highest in mind and heart. And Robin will lead us into prayer with a song by Ricky Byers called I Trust in God. That power and presence of God that is with us always. We allow ourselves to feel that presence deeply, to fill us up with a sense of abundance, of peace, of access to all that we need. God is the answer to all our needs. So we are wide open in heart and mind to to divine influence. We invite God to heal us at depth, to flow through us with healing, renewing energy, to steady and strengthen us, and to guide us in the path of life and peace. By day and by night, we are alert for your guidance. And how grateful we are to know we are never alone. God is with us always, and God is with all those we know and love. And God is fully present and at work and flowing strongly in all living beings all across the globe. Thank you, God, for your unfailing presence in our very midst. How grateful we are. Amen. Amen. All right. Good. Robin has another song for us. It's a Karen Drucker song. You might know it. It's called In Beauty May I Walk.
In beauty may I walk all day long. May I walk through the seasons. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace on this path. May I walk in old age. May I walk in my life. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in joy. May I walk in love. May I walk in gratitude. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in stillness. May I walk in forgiveness. May I walk in loving kindness. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you, Robin. That was beautiful. All right. Good. Well, we've been really kind of focused on gratitude and gratefulness the last couple of weeks, and we have a film about it on Friday here at the church called Gratefulness Revealed. A lot of wonderful ideas about the power of gratitude to change our lives. So I was looking for some good gratitude jokes, and coming up a little dry. So these are kids' jokes. These are little wordplay jokes that kids like. So let's see. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims, that's right. May flowers. Good job, Linda. All right, how do little pumpkins cross the road? little pumpkins cross the road with a crossing gourd. With a crossing gourd. Why is corn so popular on Thanksgiving? Because it's amazing. Amazing. Okay, one more. What do sweet potatoes wear to bed? I'm sure you'll get this one. What do sweet potatoes wear to bed? They're yammies. Yammies. I like kids' jokes myself. The sillier the better. Well, we're thinking about gratefulness a lot this month, and I never get weary of it because it's such a powerful thing to transform our lives, and it's so accessible, it's so doable. All of a sudden, it seems like I'm echoing strongly here. Gratitude, praise, thanksgiving, it's emphasized in all spiritual traditions, and for good reason, because there's nothing more powerful to change our lives or to help us through difficult times. And it's something we can do all the time, we just don't remember to do so. We forget to do so. And it really should be a prominent part of our daily kind of spiritual practice, everyday spiritual practice, because of its great power to make things better for us. It kind of works in two primary ways. If we practice gratitude every day, it makes us more aware of current blessings, right? It makes us more aware of how we're blessed right now. And then it opens us up to more blessings to come. We develop a mindset of expectations for it, and we're open to more blessings coming our way. One of my very first minister in life, Reverend E.V. Ingraham, we called him Ingy when I was a child, wrote this about gratitude practice. It's a little book called Intelligent Prayer. When we, through the practice of habitual gratitude, have trained ourselves to that point where we are vitally alert to the good that is already ours, we will be completely alert to increase in our good. It puts it right out there, really clear, very practical. So in learning to be more grateful, gratefulness practice, we make ourselves more alert to the blessings in our lives. We wake ourselves up to the ways we are already blessed. And we also activate some deeply healing energy from gratitude practice to heal the sorrows or the sense of lack of the past. There's a mystery about how it works, because it's the mystery of God at work in our lives. I stumbled on, as I was doing some research this week, a gratitude blog, Gratitude the Life blog, where a woman named Sheila kind of talked about how her life was transformed by a gratitude practice to such an extent that that she became a gratitude teacher herself. And it really happened at a very challenging time in her life. She and her husband had 2 little children. And through some accident, suddenly her husband became, he had some kind of spinal damage and became disabled. And they were working strongly on getting function back, but they didn't know how much recovery he would have. So all of a sudden she became in charge of everything. Taking care of the kids. She became kind of a single parent, essentially, taking care of kids and home and food and money management and everything. And it felt quite overwhelming. She talked about how the first few weeks you think, well, this is temporary, I can handle it okay. But 3 months it was beginning to weigh. By 6 months she was just feeling desperate and exhausted. And it brought back for her bitter memories of the past. Her mother had had to leave an abusive marriage, left with her 2 children, and worked like crazy, doing everything, as she was doing now in her life, as Sheila was doing now. And worked so hard doing everything, trying to be everything to everybody and do everything without taking care of herself at all, that she became ill and passed too soon, and her 2 children wound up in foster care at about age 13. So she had sad memories of this from her past. And this became kind of strongly in her mind as she was dealing with her own situation of being overwhelmed and doing more than she felt up to. Well, she was a meditator, and she began to tap into her intuition, which was coming to her strongly about gratitude. Everywhere she looked, it seemed like she was running into on social media something about gratitude. Gratitude practice. She'd stumble upon a book about it. People would mention things. it began to kind of dawn on her, this is something I'm supposed to pay attention. You know how you'll just stumble upon things all of a sudden, it'll be coming at you from all different directions, and it's like, whoa, that is for me in some way. So she took it seriously, and she began to give thanks every day. Began to give thanks for whatever she could every day, regardless of the circumstances she was dealing with. She developed some strategies of her own, like using affirmations, saying thank yous aloud, affirming good things are coming her way, and even things she may not see yet, they're on their way to her, and she would use affirmations, and she would give thanks daily, and she would meditate on gratitude. And she developed some really powerful strategies. I'm going to mention a couple of them in a moment. What she began to realize over time was not only did her life improve, she became happier, more peaceful, as did her children. More abundance began to flow in her life. She also began to be aware that the bitterness of the past was gone. It had just diminished. It had perished from lack of attention. It died of neglect. And it'll happen that way. We don't have to battle with things quite often if we are simply focusing in a different direction. That's where the energy is going, and the other stuff is perishing from our not paying attention to it. We used to say, in an earlier Science of Mind church I went to for years, where the attention goes, the energy flows. Let's say that. Where the attention goes, the energy flows. Where you're putting your attention, that's what's going to flourish and increase. That's why as we focus on gratefulness and the blessings in our lives, that's going to grow. I stumbled on another one, I think it was one of her affirmations, and she said, what you appreciate, appreciates. I really like that. It grows in value, it increases in abundance. What you appreciate, appreciates. There's a lot of stuff like this online. I was just going through different little YouTube clips and quotes from people. Oprah Winfrey talks a whole lot about, she's got a whole YouTube thing on gratitude. Blessings flow in the space of gratitude. That's where blessings flow. Willie Nelson said, when I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. It's tried and true. It's again and again. We just get away from it. We forget about its power, and especially when we're facing challenges. But that's exactly when we need it most. We need to focus on whatever we can to give thanks for. Find a blessing in whatever the situation is. It's not natural to us. I think really gratitude, deep gratefulness has to be learned. Would you agree? I think it has to be learned. It doesn't kind of innately come in the human package or in human nature. There's obstacles we deal with. Not paying attention to the blessings in our lives, taking them for granted, or as one of my students wrote in an essay once, taking things for granted. Taking them for granted. We do that. A sense of entitlement, so we just kind of receive good things and think, well, that's just my due or something. We don't tend to think what a blessing it is that I woke up this morning feeling pretty good. Having not felt good recently, when we get sick, then we really realize what a blessing it is to be able to breathe and to feel good and have energy to walk around and do what we want. What a blessing that is. We tend to forget that. Another thing we do is we pay attention quite often to the wrong things. We put too much focus on what's wrong, what's missing, what we think we should have, what's lacking. That's where our focus is. We'll focus on judgment or criticism instead of what we're blessed with, what the good things are around us. And another big one, this was mentioned in the film on Friday night, there's such a greed in our culture that always, in the film they called it the mania for more. The mania for more. It's like you always got to have more. There's a restless craving that undermines our ability to feel grateful. It's like it's not enough, we have to have more. That is something we have to deal with too. So I really just kind of wanted to put some focus on some strategies. I think I've used most of these at one time or another, because we get away from it and then we have to bring ourselves back. We forget. We'll get into a place in our minds where we think there's nothing much to give thanks for right now, and we forget. And then we realize, no, there's always something to be thankful for. I just have to get back to that practice. Because the more I do, the more blessings are going to unfold for me. So here's some strategies that I kind of pulled together that I think are really helpful to cultivate a more grateful heart. First one is from a writer named Sue Monk Kidd. She said, find your grateful center. Find your grateful center. Each of us has a time or a place, a moment, hopefully many moments in our lives that was sort of free of grasping or craving or judging or needing. Where there was this sense of fullness, of your needs being met, of being in that moment. And she says this is a wonderful, it's not an escape, it's kind of a point of reference as a reminder of what true gratefulness feels like. It's a fullness in heart and mind. It's a sense of needs being met, not needing anything, you having everything you need. So I was thinking about moments like that, just to kind of get a sense of what's a grateful center for me. I shared one last week about the farm, my grandfather's farm I went to as a child. It was a wonderful sense of, there was family, there was nature, it was closeness, there was a peace about it. That's a kind of a moment I go back to. And also in childhood, I was thinking about how I loved to climb trees when I was a child. Anyone else like to climb trees? Just a wonderful sense of, maple trees seem to be the best. They have the most spacious branches, and you could get a start on one, and then there was a little bit of the challenge of climbing branch to branch, strategizing, figuring it out on your way up. But then when you're up at the top, and you're feeling a kind of oneness with the tree, and then you're just kind of swaying with the tree, and I would just hang out up there for as long as I could. I can remember that feeling. That's gratefulness. That's a grateful center kind of moment. You don't need anything. You're just feeling one with the tree and one with nature, just in that moment. That's a nice point of reference to get back to. That's what gratefulness feels like. What were times like that for you? What kind of a grateful center could you bring to mind that can be kind of a reference point for you? So find a grateful center. Second one is a real simple one, is practice giving thanks every day. Develop a habit of giving thanks for simple everyday gifts. I like that in the film we watched. It's like a film director expressing gratitude for the tea he was making with lemon that he loved having in the mornings, for the cereal and the coffee that tastes so good in the morning. And anybody like a good cup of coffee in the morning? What a blessing that is. Prepared just right. It could be anything. Food, a warm sweater. We were talking about knitted things before. Warm knitted sweater. Tree outside the window, the sound of a wren singing outside. The ability to speak, or breathe, or see, or hear. So many things. Brother David Stendhal Rast, one of my favorite gratitude gurus, he has been for years having a habit of giving thanks for something new every day, something new. And after a while, it becomes very particular. It gets down to very particular things. The fact that you can turn on a water tap and water flows out of it, and that as you let it water, it'll get hotter. Anyone have that happen with their taps? It's a miracle. In a lot of countries, they don't have that. They have to tote water from far away. What a blessing to have running water and water that heats up. Little things every day. He's been doing that for years and years. I think I've shared before, I know I have. I used a wall calendar for that for quite a long while. It was really a kind of an abundance practice, a prosperity practice, and a gratefulness practice for me. Just a simple wall calendar with a little box for every day that I would write some blessing of the day, some little thing that was a blessing every day. And then over time, you're seeing all the other ones you wrote, and it builds up this sense of abundance. And if you do that week after week, month after month, after a while, you are feeling very blessed. You have reminded yourself, you've wakened yourself up to, wow, there really are blessings every day if I'm paying attention, if I'm awake. That old minister of mine, E.V. Ingerman, he recommended a 30-day program of systematic daily gratitude practice. No criticism or judgments, all gratitude for 30 days. And if you fell into a judgment, you had to counter it with 10 thank yous. That's a rigorous gratitude practice. Those are all good strategies to practice giving thanks every day. It really does build a sense of gratefulness. Third one is this from C.S. Lewis. I've always liked this idea. He said, start small in your gratefulness practice. He recommended adoration in infinitesimals, little things. Little things. He said, begin by paying attention to the little creatures of earth, the little insects, the little squirrels, the birds, Listen to their twittering. Watch them jumping around in branches. Don't analyze, don't evaluate. Just watch, just relish, just appreciate. Go to a stream or a pond and feel the water. Watch it ripple. Let it work on you. Just observing and feeling it. Lie in the grass. Feel the texture of the grass. Look at the branches, the way they move. Climb a tree. Climb a tree, maybe. But he said, start small. Start with little things. And really relish them. Really appreciate them. Fourth one, I like this one. This is from that woman Sheila with the gratitude blog. She had something she called 8 to go deep. 8 to go deep. Number 8. She said, as you're giving thanks for something, say it's your home. You give thanks for your home. She said, don't just stop there, which is nice, but doesn't really resonate deeply. She says, go into things that you love about your home. How does it bless you? It blesses you as shelter, as protection from the elements. Blesses you as a place for your family to gather together. But she says the magic point is about a 5. If you can get 5 and then go beyond it to 8, you're really beginning to go deep. Home is a place where I can be creative. It nurtures the creative spirit in me. Home is a place where I have community, where I can welcome others in and I feel connected to others in life. Home is a place where I bring nature in and I feel interaction with nature outside my windows. What does home mean for you? How are you blessed by your home? 8 to go deep. Try to do 8. 8 reasons why you're blessed by your home, or your marriage, or your children, or your job, or your hobbies, or your art, whatever it is. Go to 8 at least. Deepen that sense of gratefulness. And here's the 5th one. I think this is one I've done the most of these practices. Frame the day with gratitude. Frame the day with gratitude. I think it's the way we start the day and the way we end the day is so important. It's so powerful to transform our whole experience of the days of our lives. As soon as our eyes open, if we can start with a gratitude for waking up, for getting a night's rest, for feeling healthy this morning, for the sound of life outside our windows, for the smell of coffee from the kitchen, for whatever it might be, for the dreams we had, for the blessings of our lives in general, whatever we can think of that gives us a sense of gratefulness as we start the day. That'll enrich our experience all day long. And before sleep, if we can give thanks for the blessings of the day, whatever they were, the kindness is shown to us, the abundance we experienced, the meal we had, the tea we enjoyed, the friend we called or who called us, or whatever it might be, the many, many blessings of nature that we so much take for granted but are so rich and around us, how blessed we are by the trees and the fall colors and the nip in the air as we move toward winter, so many blessings. Frame the day with that first thing and last thing, and it brings rich blessings, rich blessings. The more grateful we are, the more blessed we feel. And the more blessed we feel, the more blessings flow into our lives. It's like a wonderful circle that you can activate day by day. And the more old wounds heal in the process. And that's something that has to be experienced. It can't really be explained because it's the activity of the divine in our midst. But the more we focus on the blessings, how we're blessed, what we're thankful for, the more the old stuff perishes of neglect. The more it dims and decreases until we hardly think about that. It hardly disturbs our rest anymore, disturbs our peace. There's a healing power in gratefulness that we underestimate and that can really transform our experience of lives. This is why Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, said, give thanks at all times for everything. Give thanks for whatever you can. It'll change your life. So I thought we could take that as an affirmation today. Would you like me to join me in this? I give thanks at all times for everything. Together? I give thanks at all times for everything. Let's take that into prayer for a moment. Affirm that truth within. So many blessings in our lives we hardly take note of. And that changes now. Our hearts and minds are wide open to being aware of the blessings of this moment, of this day, of this life that we've been blessed with. As we move through the days and nights before us, we commit ourselves to remembering every little blessing that comes our way, every little blessing we awaken to, we see through the course of our days, we go to sleep at night, deeply aware of the blessings of our life here on planet Earth, how blessed we are. Thank you, God, for your unfailing power and presence in our very midst, in our very hearts and minds. We are truly grateful, and so it is. Amen. All right. Well, Robin and Michael are going to come back up and do another grateful song. This is, again, a Karen Drucker song, I'm So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left.